Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Wild and Wingless. Tonight I got with myself the one and only Ebony Hobson. Ebony, how are you?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good. I've spoken to your brother on this show before, and as much as he was not the first Hobson to win an Australian title, he just needed to be first in one area. But it's really good to have you on finally. I've caught up with you at Sydney a few weeks back. Are you able to give us a rundown of your racing history and how you got into wingless and get to where you are today?
Yeah, absolutely. So, look, my story is probably going to be pretty similar to Pod's, just at a bit of a earlier timeline. Dad brought me my first go-kart when I was 8 years old, I think, 8 or 9 years old. We ran just a pull start coma, run around at the local tracks at like Nayora, Druin. I just ran as a rookie at the end of the end of the pack until I turned, I think it was 10. Got into juniors, which is the just a standard Yamaha J. Had some success in that. Won a few state titles, travelled around Australia with Pod, who was also racing it with me when he turned 10 or whatever. Won the national title there and went into what did I do? I went into seniors for a year in the senior karts, ran pretty much every class there was. And that's when all the opportunities kind of started arising for me. I got offered a drive by the mini sprints. The club had a club car. They offered me a few shows in that, so that was a cool little stepping stone. I jumped in a V8 dirt modified Tony
Oh wow,
Moore's
yeah.
when I was I think that was before the wingless. I'm not too. My memory's going to be a bit shot. I'm getting that old now. But I think no, actually, I think I jumped in the wingless first. Sorry. Peter Temby actually let me have a run around in his when I was, I think, at Nayora on a practice day, which is now my car. It was his car first. There
Yep.
was a so and I run around there, broke a few bits on it, crashed straight into the fence in my first kind of roll in it, and said, "Thanks, Pete. Thanks very much for that, mate," and walked on off. And then we organised a bit of a deal with Matt Easton
Mhm.
with Victory Lane Roski. He had a series down here called the Victory Lane Series. It was like the Gippsland Series. So he wanted his car obviously running in his own series. So we all worked out a bit of a deal for me to kind of have a bit of a skid around in that. Being like I kind of adapted pretty quickly to him. It kind of helps coming from go-karts and a dirt kart and stuff. I've always said this, I feel like you learn more in a dirt kart than you would a quarter midget, a junior sedan, all that kind of stuff. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
right.
I've always felt like you like feel the car a bit, your lines, I mean, it's good racing. And I don't know, we just always adapted to every single car we drove. And mum, dad, Todd, we all kind of think it was because we started off in the kart. So,
Yep.
yeah, so after I ran that weekend with Matt, me and dad looked at each other, said, "Oof, I think I've got the bug now, dad. I think I'm ready to jump into something a bit bigger."
Yep.
And then Peter wasn't really running at the time. And he said, "Oh, look, if you want to race in my car for a few shows, like we'll put it together and I'll give it to you, and you and your old man can take it where you need to and all that kind of stuff." So we put together a bit of a season, and I had a pretty good first year. I think I podiumed maybe 3 or 4 times. I won Rookie of the Year for the Vic Wingless. I came probably like ninth in aggregate, and back then there was like 120 cars. Like
Yeah.
like Victoria's always had 100 cars. Like it's been awesome. So we went from running once a week, well, sorry, once a month to every week, which was unbelievable. And I was kind of juggling at the time. I was like, I'm pretty into my football. I was back then
Yep.
anyways, went going to school and everything for AFL and stuff. So I was kind of juggling those two at the same time and kind of got given the ultimatum of, look, you need to be focused on footy or racing. And I kind of said, I think racing's where it's at. Looking back now, there's AFLW and everything now, so that was a bit of a classic. But yeah, we took it to a step further, and me and Dad purchased the car and ran some pretty full-on seasons. Yeah, like I said, I jumped in a dirt modified for a season under Tony Moore. It was kind of a club car. That was an awesome experience. I mean, I grew up. Me and Todd grew up with the dirt mods with the old man.
Yep.
So watching that class from 2002 when the heyday was like Timmy Moore, Stewie Hearn, and everything, for me finally like jumping in one, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I only raced Dad once. He refused to race against me for some reason.
Really?
But yeah, he was always busy that weekend. He said, "Oh, I can't do it. I'm going away," or "I can't do that." And then we finally raced against each other at the local track, Neora, and he reckoned I wasn't there that day because I passed him on the last lap, and I finished up third or fourth or something. And we were running like a pretty small engine compared to all like Dad and everyone, so I was pretty wrapped with that. And but if you ask him, I wasn't even there
You
that week.
weren't
I
there.
I wasn't racing then, so
Right.
so yeah, and then well, then that's when we started. Todd bought a car, and then
Yep.
we were running the two cars, like both cars, for a while.
Hmm.
It was pretty full on, a lot going on. He was, as everyone knows, he's way more into it than I ever has. Obviously he's in America, it's his life, and I kind of just do it because I love it. So I was starting to slow up a bit when I was about 17, 18. I was getting a bit, teenage girl, getting a bit over it, wanting to do some other things, and um yeah, let Todd have a couple of like a big year, and I kind of sat back a bit. Came back when I was about 20, 21, back in the dirt mod. I was racing Dads at this time.
Yep.
So I jumped in it before Todd did. Again. Um, so and then I ran a national title with that. Didn't do very well. Car didn't go. That's fair. Caught on fire. All good times. And then we got going again, and then we ran a World Series night at Avalon. Just
Really?
as they were calling it a demonstration night for, I
Yeah.
think we're just canteen cars in the dirt mod, and it was like a big show, World Series used to pull a big crowd at
Yep.
Avalon and stuff. So we were running good, got going, was running about third or fourth, and a bloke in front of me spun around, and instead of just kind of stalling and stopping, everyone was racing like it was for a national title for one. So
Yep.
old mate spun around in front of me instead of stopping. He accelerated and smashed head on into me, and destroyed the car, dislocated my shoulder, um, kind of brought to light the neck injury that I had. So
Jesus.
yeah, so after that, that's when I had to obviously get my neck surgery and everything. Um, so yeah, I missed out on racing after that. I think I raced the Australian title at Warrnambool, I think it was the same year,
Yep.
and I didn't really think much about the neck at the time. We weren't really aware of what it was.
Yep.
So I ran that, did as good as you could in 100 cars, and your points, all that kind of stuff. Ran that, went and finally got some scans on my neck, and yeah, it turned out I had a pretty bad neck injury, so had to quickly get surgery on that, and
Far
that
out.
yeah, so
What
that
was it?
so we don't know when or how long I was running with it for, but it was kind of like I used to get quite a lot of, after this crash, I was getting really bad nerve pain.
Yep.
And I just thought it was my shoulder, like footy injury. Like I played footy racing years and years and years, and I said, okay, no worries. So I went and got my shoulder all checked and everything, and they're like, we can't see anything wrong with this. And I'm like, oh, righto, well, I must be me being a bit dramatic, right? So I, tried to rehab it, got back playing footy, back racing again, and it still wasn't right. Like I was still having this awful nerve pain and stuff. So I went and saw the head doctor at Collingwood Footy Club, and he said, "Oh, look, has anyone ever seen your neck?" I'm like, My neck's fine. What are you talking about? It's not a problem." And he goes, "Oh, look, just be safe. Go get a scan." I get a scan. Turns out there was a blockage. A bit of the bone was blocking my spinal column fluid. So I was compressing all the nerves and everything down my back. So I had to go
Jesus.
in. Yeah, it was pretty gnarly. But like we said, we don't really know what it kind of like how it happened.
Yep. Yep.
People always go, "Oh, was it that night you crashed?" I'm like, "Look, it could have been. I didn't know. I just kind of went along with it for a bit." And then, yeah, I had to quickly, it was kind of like, "No, look, you need to get surgery now, 3 weeks." And I had to, yeah, they cut out the top of my spine to try and get the fluid to run up and down.
Wow. Jeez.
And yeah, so, but you know what? It was kind of a bit of a blessing because I was getting to the point where I was doing so much racing and stuff where it was kind of like I was starting to you know, like hate it, and I
Yep.
didn't want to do that. And Todd was really starting to come into his own. So it kind of was a good kind of timing for me to completely take a step back, and then everyone, like mum, dad, me, all focus on Todd. So I was out, yeah, till last year,
Hmm.
3 or 4 years. Took a long time. Look, it took a long time to recover from it, just because it just takes that long for the nerves and everything to heal. So,
Yep.
but yeah, so got back in last year and did a few shows, and we're running pretty good again. And yeah, this year we're having a bit of a crack. So yeah,
Yeah, right. So that's you got. So both you guys have you and your brother have both been very much exposed to many different divisions in
Yeah,
the speedway. Yeah. Well, so
yeah,
that's
yeah.
pretty cool, and to find out you guys um came from karts. Obviously, you guys came from the dirt side.
Mm,
And I'm starting to find there's been a lot of other drivers that have came from tar as well as dirt, which is pretty cool. And I think, as you guys said, and I agree with what you guys are saying, I believe you can almost spot the kids that start off in karting.
100%. You can
Um,
they just adapt quicker. That's all I've
yeah,
seen. Like, you just adapt faster. And no offense to those junior sedans and all that kind of stuff. Like, it looks like in quarter meters. It doesn't look like you're going like fast enough to kind of actually get a real feel and like the car sliding. Just general stuff. So,
hmm
it's all good though. Like, they're all great learning curves and stuff. So it's like whatever you can get into. But yeah, you can definitely, like you said, tell who's come from karts. 100%.
yeah. I don't know if it's the direct steer or I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but like, yeah, they're saying about karting being a footpath or sorry, a stepping stone into
Yeah.
wingless anyway. So that's good. Um, when you came up, and I do ask this question a lot. So when you first drove the wingless, was it difficult for you to get your bearings where the front wheels were without seeing
Mm,
them, or were you
it
pretty?
it it was, but kind of there's a video of it somewhere. So, but I was also kind of just like
Focused
whatever, like
elsewhere. You just
yeah,
yeah,
because
right.
go-karts obviously the same. You're looking at your wheels the whole time.
Yep.
So, no, not really. I didn't really have any real problems with like driving over wheels or seeing hitting other cars because I couldn't see. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really, which is surprising now you've asked that because I've never
Okay.
really thought about
No,
it.
because I just a few people I've asked that question to. You could almost tell when they're fresh into wingless, just knowing where their border is. So where their
Yeah.
front wheels are, where their crash bar is. Like now, you guys know where your crash bar is. You know when you're riding the car in front.
Oh
When
yeah. Oh
you
yeah.
know everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just one of those things. I guess the learning curve. All right. So out of all the stuff you've raced, Ebony, what is it that makes you? What is it about wingless that makes you go right? I'm here. Because don't get me wrong, Lloyd is. You could have gone down that road where he is and
Yeah.
raced those.
Look.
But yeah,
Yeah. Look, at the time, I think it was just. I mean, it was affordable for
yep,
one, obviously. We're just a family team. I mean, we don't really have any big financial influences or any of that kind of stuff. It's just kind of us. The fact that we could race every weekend was awesome, and we'd rock up with 40 other cars. Like
yeah,
there was just right. You could race every weekend with shitloads of cars.
yep,
But and it was funny because when we were younger and we'd see him probably, well, like Brad was saying, when Brad was probably running him at the very start, they were called NOS sprints. And when we'd see him, we'd go, "Oh, canteen cars, like classic,
yeah,
good on this." But this, and I just thought, I never thought I'd ever race him. And I don't know, I think it's just because I got the opportunity by Matt and like Peter, and I finally got in one. I was like, "Oh no, this is actually pretty good. Like, I don't mind this at all." But I think, yeah, they're just good cars to drive. They can like it's a consistent field. Like I said, racing every week. It wasn't as expensive back then. It's getting a bit more expensive to be competitive, which what, fair enough. That goes like that way in every kind of sport.
hmm
But yeah, I don't know. And like funny enough, when we were younger, Todd had no interest at all running the dirt mod. He refused to. He said, "I'll never run that thing ever, ever." And I'm like, "I'll do it. Like, no worries." But I ran it, and you know what? They were probably kind of on their low in numbers, and the club was, and in Victoria anyway, it was kind of struggling in that kind of period too. So
hmm
you were probably only getting 6 or 7 cars to a show,
yep.
and it was very sparse. Um, so yeah, I think it was just, I mean, yeah, the people involved as well. Obviously, we know a lot of people involved, so that kind of made it all a bit of an easy transition. And Pete came with us a few times and kind of showed us the way to kind of do it, and it helps having an old man like Dad. So yeah, I don't know. It's a good class. It really is a good class.
Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah, no, because I just thought with all the experience you've had in all different ones. So what is it that you enjoy about the most? Like, what makes you? I mean, I know that
Yeah,
it's fun. It's all the rest. Like, so the other
it's
weekend I saw you at Sydney, for example, and like, it was a hard weekend for you.
it
And
was very and
every time you got out of that car, you had a massive smile on your face. What is it? Is it the competition?
I don't, I don't know. I think ever since I had that break, it's a bit of a fresh air breath. Like it's a breath of fresh air for me because when I was younger, I was kind of really naive about the whole situation that I was in. Like I was very lucky. I had a lot of good people around me who did I didn't do a lot on the cars when I was younger,
Yep.
and like I've kind of come back, and Todd's obviously a wealth of knowledge, but I've come back and I've put myself in a mindset when I started again. I'm like, I'm going to learn everything I need to know about these cars inside and out. I want to be where I was, 5, 6 years ago. I want to be at the top part of the field again. And I just, every time I get in the car, I just think, God, like I nearly wasn't able to do this ever again.
Hmm.
And I took it all for granted. So, I mean, I had a crap run at Sydney. The DNF killed us and whatnot, but oh, you guys had a good run too, though, didn't you? Very good run. But no, I don't know. I just think I'm trying to enjoy it more now. I took it really, really serious when I was younger. Like me, if you ask anyone in Victoria, me and the old man used to Barney every single race, like same as Todd. We all Barney with each other. It
Yep.
was well. I'm just trying to enjoy the time I have left with Dad doing it. Even Mum when she comes, and I just think just like the experience I get to go to Sydney and have a run around at this new awesome facility. Like I'm like, that's great. That's awesome. Like again,
Yep.
like I said, I nearly wasn't able to do it ever again.
Yep.
So. No, it's good. I don't know. I just really enjoy the class. I enjoy the people. Um, it's just feels like a normal weekend routine, like probably for you guys as well now. Like it'd be weird if you didn't do it. So
Part of life, yeah.
part of life.
Yeah.
It's all I've ever known. My first race was like 2 weeks old watching sprint cars at Noora. So it's like try and get out of that, would you? So
I think you're set up for the rest of your life after that one. All
no,
right.
that's it.
One weekend, what stands out for me was Lismore, for the Australian title.
Yeah.
So I remember when I went up and obviously I was talking to your brother at the time, so I knew of you, but
Yeah.
you. So it went. I can't remember if it went your car, your brother's car, then Temby's car.
Yep.
But I think that's how it went. So you guys were all together. How was your experience up there for the Lismore Australian title? So being someone who, what I'm going to say is you had your break, you've come back in, you started
Yep.
to do a lot more racing, because I started to notice your name a lot
Yeah.
more last season.
Yep.
So yeah, tell us about your experience of the Australian title.
Look, I kind of went in there with no real expectations. I I've never been to Lismore, I never raced there. I don't think I might have went to the track when I was a lot younger. But I just wanted to have a crack this year, and we all kind of agreed it makes sense because obviously we're very close with the
Yep.
Fitzpatricks. I like drove for them back in the day and did titles and shit for them, and Todd and Kicker kick it. Like I've got like 10 little brothers who are run wingless who have been there since I was I remember Kicker when he was about 6 years old running around the pits and stuff. So with his backpack and whatever else.
His backpack.
He's gonna kill me for
Yeah,
telling this.
no, keep going. Yeah,
Nah,
the backpack.
so
Wow.
all I remember kicking was running like we'd be at Avalon at a sprint car show or something, and there's Kicker with his bloody back, and he just ran. He ran everywhere he went, and he had this big backpack with his model cars and just Peter's money, and he'd just be running around with the back flapping on his back, and like, oh, there's Kicker. But no, they're all very good
Oh,
boys. So
nice.
so yeah, look, it was they put on an absolute show. I've been to a few titles, obviously, but like Brad was saying in his interview, you just felt like a star. Like the entertainment behind it is something that's really, I think, missing in Speedway.
Yep.
Um, like you go to any other sport and they try and keep you entertained between the breaks. They try and all that kind of stuff. Where at Speedway, I've had friends not even involved, like obviously in Speedway, I've never been. They'd come and be like, "Oh, it just goes for 6 hours." I'm like, "It does go for 6 hours, doesn't it?" I'm like, "I know." I'm like, "It's not that boring in the pit. It's like come in the pit and like, oh, we can sit in the crowd." I'm like, yeah, but they just made it really entertaining, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a shame the weather was a bit all over the shop and the track kind of went how it did. They
Hmm.
couldn't do much about that. But yeah, props to the sellers. They put on an absolute show. But yeah, we weren't really expecting too much. Like I would have been really happy to make the A main, but it was just one of those tracks that I couldn't really get my head around. I couldn't really get passy.
Hmm.
I moved forward in all my heats, and then I had one DNF when I got slid into the fence. So the DNF again in a point show just destroyed you.
Yeah.
It just destroyed you.
Hurts.
So it
Yeah.
ruins your weekend. But no, it was cool to run. Like we always say when we run with the Fitzes, like there's a 3-car team. Larry likes to forget about me, but I'm still there, Larry. Don't you worry.
No, I remember when I pulled up next to Larry on the weekend, and I said, "Do you mind if I park?" He was like, "It's all good for that." I said, "It's all right. We've got a spot for Ebony on the other side." So he was happy. So yeah, it was all good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
So
what was your thoughts when you got to roll out with the your brother's car ahead of the tank, whatever he was in, a
Oh,
cool tank thing. What?
ridiculous, wasn't
Talk
it?
to me
It
about
was.
it. Let's have a chat.
I don't even know what to. When it came over, he goes, "Oh, Ev, I think they want you to drive my car out when I'm out there." I'm like, "Oh yeah, if you want, mate, that's fine. I'll do that." And he goes, "Oh, I'll be in a tank." I'm like, "A tank?" And he goes, "Yeah." I'm like, "It's like shit." I'm like, "I'm gonna get squashed by this tank." And he goes, "I don't know." He was like, "Oh, I'll let you." Thanks, Todd. A man of many words. I'm like, "Oh yeah, no worries." And I went to the fitters. I'm like, "You guys cool with me doing this?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course, Ebony. Don't be ridiculous." I'm like, "Okay, cool." So yeah, unreal experience. I can't even like. I was just hoping to God I was rolling fast enough so that thing wouldn't come near me because I was terrified. It was
So
huge.
no one was talking
It
to you on the
wasn't.
one way at
No,
all.
no. Eventually, someone goes, "You need to speed up. You need to speed up." I'm like, "Oh my God, oh my God." Because I'm like, "I don't know what I'm doing, mate. You just told me to roll around with a tank." So no, it was so cool. And even like pulling up, like obviously I get a little emotional about Todd being Todd because God, he puts effort into it. And I just love him reaping the rewards that he
Yep.
gets. And God, he deserved that title that year. Like I was actually I was at a metal gig. I was at a metal show watching it on my phone.
Actually, I heard this. I think
Yeah,
someone told me about this.
yes.
And did you someone take a photo or something like that of
Yeah,
your
someone my
phone
mate took me a photo of me going like this going
in
like they
front of
were
the
watching.
the,
Yeah,
the, the, the band or whatever it was?
yeah,
Yeah, okay.
literally.
I think your brother
Literally.
told me about this. Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. I like how you
Yeah.
guys all support each other. That's good.
Oh, we love it. It's our only way of kind of hanging. We bond over it. We hang out. We're very yeah, we love it. So, but no, it was so I wasn't there, and I got to watch that, and that was I was wrapped for him. It was awesome. But even over like in the States, I love watching him just do well. You
Yep.
know, like so watching him come out of the truck with the trophy and like I don't know the big hoo ha, it just looks spectacular. Like
Yeah.
from where I was just sitting there waiting to be told to leave, but I was like, oh, how cool! Like how bloody cool. So no, that was like I said, an absolute show.
Yeah. No, I'm very fortunate that my memories for that. I wish I had more cameras to get more footage, but just that pit road that we were on. We
Oh,
were at the very end of
fun,
your
right?
one. Like that
Yeah,
one, that was where all the cool stuff happened. Like
yeah,
all
yeah.
the cool kids
It's
were on that row.
absolutely,
And I still remember, like I remember seeing your car coming on a wrecker
yeah,
and being unloaded, and I sort of walked past, and I thought, oh, geez, and just I just remember seeing everyone.
yeah. We're a
Just
big team. It's
you
awesome.
know,
It's like
um,
it's great.
your
I've
brother's
actually one of
there,
the
Kicker was
yeah.
there. I think he was doing something. He might have been trying to hold the.
Picker wouldn't have been doing much,
No,
but
I
he
think
was
he was
there.
holding some
Yeah.
chips or something like that, some
That,
pizza shapes, seeing if anyone wants any.
that's better.
But
That
like,
makes more
yeah,
sense. And Todd would look like he's helping, but he probably scooted away on the scooter and didn't help at all. But yes,
I
no,
think,
it's awesome.
yeah, no, but
We're a massive family.
how everyone
It's
came together. Yeah,
grouse.
no,
Yeah, no,
that's
it's cool.
awesome.
There is a
Um,
GoPro footage of Kate Fitzpatrick actually put it up of a time lapse of everyone fixing the front of the car.
no
It's
way.
really cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's on my Facebook page. It's really
I'll have
awesome.
to
So
try and
like
get that.
you just see the car just pop off and then like 10 people just attack. And then you see dad going, go to Brad Hilder and get him to bring the welder. I'm like, ah I'm running like, quick, go. So yeah, because like the car was toast. It was absolutely toast. But yeah, it was cool. It was really cool.
Awesome. No,
Best
that
part
seems
about it.
good.
Best
Like,
part
yeah,
about it.
like so I saw that part. I remember seeing, I remember seeing Todd walk away. Then all of a
Mm.
sudden, I saw the car drive. Now, the helmet. You were in your helmet, weren't you?
Yeah, yeah, I would have been a mono, I reckon.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I thought, hang on, I saw Todd walk, and now the car's driven. I'm thinking, is this like Kirby or something like that? Like, and then someone turned around and said, oh no, that's Ebony out there. I thought, man, that's so cool to see.
It
Like,
was cool. Yeah, it was cool.
yeah, I just thought it
And
was
like the
awesome.
fun thing about us, I don't even know why, but no one can tell us apart when we're like racing ever. And it's really like I don't people always go, oh girl racer, blah, blah. I'm like, I hate that term. Always have.
Yep.
Whatever. I just race as I do. I don't push it, blah blah blah. But I remember there was one show and like they just couldn't tell us apart. They even the cars because we just had Hobson and they obviously didn't know which car was who. And he used to be number 83.
Yep.
So the numbers were quite close. And I used to love the fact that they thought I was Todd and he was me. And I just thought, see, best thing about wearing a helmet, you'd never know.
Never know.
You'd never know. But
No.
yeah. So
Oh, that's good.
yeah, it is cool. But
So
that was a cool experience.
yeah, no, that definitely was that Lismore Australian titles. Yeah,
Mm,
crazy.
yeah.
So let's have a chat. What's coming up after
Mm,
Christmas? Is got to be the SummerSlam.
the slam.
The Slam.
I'm
The Slam. Is
excited.
that it?
I don't know. I just made that up then.
Let's
I
run with the
like it though. Let's
Slam.
call it that.
So I was going through the entry list. when it came out. Geez, it didn't take long for them to fill them 72 spots, did it?
Not a chance. Nah, not in Victoria, South Australia. We get capped every year at most places. Just because we can pull 60 cars so easy. We've got, I think there's something like 120 registered wingless just in Victoria. So
Jeez.
we pull numbers.
Yep.
And which is great because most of them, like 60% or 60 of the cars will win. Like that's the best part about it. Like
Yeah.
we're a very competitive state, which is hard but good.
Yeah. No, you're very right there. So
Hard.
what's your that just came in very close, and when I put the border on this, it's going to work well.
Oh,
So all right, let's talk. So you got round one's
yep.
going to be at Lang. What's your
Yep.
thoughts on Lang?
I love Lang.
You love Lang.
I love little tracks that you have to drive. I love it. Little wheel, like just wheel it. Every time I've been there, it's been awesome. So I think we used to in the Fitz car. I think it was a while ago now. It was would they do a 50 lapper there? Gold
Yep.
golf, the 50 lapper. I think yeah. The best thing about it's so small. You can start dead last and win the thing. Todd Hobson did that, but it's just such a fun track. It's racy. There's two lines always. Doesn't really matter about where you start. Like you can
Yeah.
get to the
Right.
front. You're just going to make it happen. But even we raced there last year, and I think you were talking about it. Kicker showed you some footage about the
Yeah.
3 wide stuff. But
Dude, that
yeah,
was
that's what it was.
insane.
It was awesome. So like, I mean, I like to. I claim I won that for Todd because I started like fourth, spun out in front of everyone, as you do, and I got the restart for him, and then
Yeah.
he blew past everyone and won the bloody thing.
Yep.
But yeah, Lane's a grouse track, and I'm really excited for them to put on this show because yeah, they're just a small track. We don't get a lot of shows there.
Yep.
I wish we got more because yeah, I prefer the small kind of drivers tracks over the big like hang on and just turn left kind of deal shit. So it'll be good.
So
It'll
that's
be
going to
really
be.
good.
It sounds like that's going to be a crack of a first
It's
round for
mate,
4
it's going
nights
to
of
put on a
racing.
show.
Wow.
Yeah,
Jeez.
yeah, it's going to be a show.
All right. So after that, we're going to go to Borderline.
I've never raced a borderline,
No.
so that's probably one of the only tracks I've never raced at. I don't believe so. Todd might correct me because again, memory's not great. Thanks, concussions.
That's concussions. Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
But no, I don't think I've ever raced a borderline. But everyone said it's a really fun track for wingless, so I'm excited to see what that's all about.
Yeah. Okay. So after Mount Gambier, the only thing I'm looking forward to going to Mount Gambier, I've heard all about Mount Gambier BP. Where
Is that Broomy?
Yep, Broomy. I've got to go get a coffee from there because I'm told that's meant to be really good. So I'm looking forward to that.
A coffee from a BP being good. All right.
Apparently, that's what I'm told. I'm not going to argue with the donkey.
I'm a coffee snob, mate. So
yeah.
Yeah. Oh god, yeah.
All right.
Melburnian, mate. We're coffee snobs hard. So.
We'll see how we end up with it, eh?
Yeah, I like to hear the feedback.
So then after that, we head back to Simpson.
The Pleasure Dome.
What do you reckon about that? I mean, everyone at the moment I'm talking to, they're like, "Oh, dude, I can't wait to hit Simpson."
Best track in the state.
Best track. Really?
Yeah, I've never had a bad track there ever. It's always fun. It was a bit rough there a couple of weeks ago, but they were battling with rain and all kinds of stuff. So I went out in the first heat for their hot laps, and I was like, they're not going to get this track back. Not a chance in hell. Proved me very wrong because the next few races were super racy, and then it just got rough. And it was a pretty wild final. I don't know if anyone showed you or told you about it, but
no.
Like Luke Wheel, I think it was Luke Wheel, Travis Miller, and it was like they were just, and maybe was it Matt Simmons? No, it was Angus Hollis, and they were just swapping
Really?
top three the whole race. It was nuts, and I think they ended up lapping up to like 8th or something, and that's pretty hard to do at Simpson. Simpson's not like everyone. It's fast. It's a fast track, but no, it's such a good track, and it's really good for wingless. I don't think there's ever been a bad wingless race there.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
No,
okay.
not a chance, and. I'll stand by that too. I'll
Wow.
100% stand by that. And I'm not good there. I've never been good there. I don't know why. I just seem to have bad luck every time I go there. But I love racing it. I love racing it.
So then, okay. So after that, the fourth and final round will be on the Sunday night, and that's going to be at Warrnambool at Premier. What's your feedback there?
I raced in the new surface in the first show there this year.
Yep.
It held off all right. It was pretty good. I haven't raced there since before that, since the Australian title for the wingless. So it was a while
back. Yeah.
It was a while back. So it started off like I was really excited about how it was going to start off with the track stuff, and we raced with the sprint car, so it was always going to kind of blacken up a bit, but it'll be fun. It's a fast track. I hope there's 2 lines because they'll make it a lot more interesting than what we had it in the first round, but. I'm sure they'll put a lot of effort in, and I mean Warrnambool it's kind of like the standard they reckon down here. So put on all the big shows and everything. So but yeah, it should be good. So I'm excited.
So
I'm very excited.
being a local person down there, a Mexican like yourself, what's
Mm.
the weather going to be? Is the weather going to play a lot in this,
Nah,
or?
well, I think last year I didn't. This is my first time running the full series, so I think last year we lost one to rain, the
Yep.
final round to rain. But I mean, I say that, and today it has rained, it has been sunburned, and it rained again and windy. So I don't know.
Okay.
I-
Say no
um,
more.
no, it's either going to be 35 degrees and flies everywhere.
Yep.
Simpson and Lang, look out for the flies.
Really.
I will pre-warn you for that. They are awful. Yeah, they're just in paddocks with the farmers. We're just at the
Jeez.
farmers, and there was a photo last year of a infield official, and the back of his whole back was full of flies. It was disgusting. It's disgusting. So look forward to that. But no, the weather. I'm hoping it's been pretty good so far. I'm hoping it'll be nice and warm.
Okay.
24, 25 will be good for me. We don't need any hotter than that.
There we go.
4 days is going to be a slog, so we just chill out on the heat there.
Nice and easy. Yeah, there you go. Everybody says that with the nice 24, 25. Okay. So what's your thoughts going into this SummerSlam series for yourself? Like you're not going in there to finish second. You heard what Brad Warren
No,
had to say about it. So
no, I'm the same mindset as Brad. Obviously, we're born like that, so I
yep,
don't think you go out there to lose. But look, I just want to be. I really want to be consistent. I want top tens in every main. I mean,
yep.
I'd love to, win some, but the whole field is going to be like that and competitive. Anyone can win this series. I looked at it today, but I didn't look at it till today because I haven't really looked too much into it. And I said, oh my God,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
we've got some travelers and everyone coming down.
Well,
So
so I got corrected on my post, but
yeah,
got every state bar WA. But then
yeah,
you've got 72 cars, and I'm pretty sure I read good old Wikipedia, the only place in the world where you get facts,
that's
because everyone can put
correct.
facts in. Yeah.
Exactly.
Those tracks are all 20 car capacity.
2022.
22?
Lang is a small. I know that's 20 because
20?
it's so small,
Yep.
but I'm pretty sure it's normally 2022.
22?
But
Okay.
it depends on the day and who's running it,
But
really, isn't it? But
I'm sitting there thinking 72 cars.
oh, it's
We're going to
gonna be
take
wild.
20. Far out.
It's gonna be it's literally gonna be like a title. Like it's gonna be awesome. I'm really excited for it. I think it'll be really good. I really want that belt. I'm a wrestling nerd. I
I
want
was
that
going to
belt.
say, so we've only had the belt twice before. Travis Miller was a winner, followed by Blake Walsh.
Yeah, yeah. And
Um,
they probably didn't understand how good it would have been to have an actual belt. Like
I know. Right now, everyone's thinking they just want this belt. So, if you won the belt,
oh God,
would we see Ebony ripping into a KFC saying the champ is here?
absolutely. Ebony will be on the roof of the hauler, just stone colding, non-stop, non-stop.
There we go. Stone
That's the
colding.
dream.
Ebony's going to do it. There we
Absolutely.
go. Nice.
Brad Warren hates me because I actually have been to a WrestleMania. This is how much of a nerd I am. I went over to America and went to WrestleMania a few years ago.
Right.
So I will get up there and rub it in his face completely and just champ is here. That's what I would.
Done.
Don't imagine the
That is
beer
so
smashing.
cool. And that's, I remember talking to, I haven't spoken to Travis Miller yet. He's coming up shortly.
Yep.
But when I spoke to Blake, I was like, dude, like, come on, man. Where have you taken the belt on tour? And he's like, oh, nowhere. I'm like, that thing should be
Man,
on tour. Like,
I would be taking that everywhere.
man,
Everywhere.
look what
It'd be
they
in the office.
look what they did for Todd when he won an Australian title. They got a freaking tank, man. Imagine what they're going to
Yeah,
do for you. Like,
exactly.
we're going to get something. Like,
Something. I know. I think it's I wish I thought of it because I'd love to run like a random race where you just win about. Like I'm so angry they thought of it first, but it's the best idea ever.
Yep.
I would love to have like a sponsored race, and it's like the winner gets a belt,
belt.
full wrestling themed.
Is the spinner belt still going? I don't know, but
Oh God, I don't think so.
no. Okay,
I'm a bit
that's
out of
dead.
touch with
There
it
we
now.
go. All right,
I'm
no
a bit out
spinner.
of touch, but no, I don't think so. But I'm oh God, dreams. Don't even get me started.
No,
We'll
I
be here
think
forever.
I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with that SummerSlam. Touching back on something, so you did a bit of the WoW series at Sydney there. Now,
Yeah.
because the next 2 rounds are going to be in your home state, well, one isn't. But are you going to go do rounds 3 and 4 of the WoW series?
Yeah, so we were actually planning on doing all of it. We're going to go on contracted, but obviously going out on my own recently, and the old man's still working quite hard. It was a bit harder for us to get to Toowoomba in the end there.
Yeah, right.
We were planning on. I wanted to go contracted. I was
Yep.
really excited for it. But I mean, arguably, I haven't really had results and stuff last 2 years. I've only just kind of come back, so it's totally fair. Yeah. So our plan was to run the whole thing. So we'll definitely. Well, now we're going to have to fight a lot of other people to try and get into the next round. So
Yep.
yeah, no plans are run to all of them. So yeah. So that'll
And
be good.
then let's swing up to a little bit north there. So Mildura, you guys going to run the? You're going to stay in town to hit up if you can the. Because that's what I'm
Yeah.
trying to work out. Like we've got 72. We're capped at 60 for WoW, which
Yeah.
I originally thought was insane. And then
Yeah.
like Victorian Wingless go, hey, you ain't seen nothing yet. Like hold my beer, and knock
Literally.
out 72 cars. And I'm thinking,
Yeah.
far out. And they got them so quickly. And I'm sitting there thinking, man, when these nominations open up for round 2 and 3, 3 and 4,
It's going to go fast.
very
It's going to go
fast.
so fast. So like, I'm very like, I've got Kicker and like Tommy Mac. Everyone always messages me the day before because I'm slack as with that shit. They're like,
Yep.
Ebony, go now, because I'm like, oh god, right, sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
So you got to be on it, or you're not going to get in. 100%,
But
not a
then when
chance.
we go to the Mildura for the Australian title, you're obviously going to represent there. You're going to have your car there for the Australian title, Mildura. Yep.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
then, we're talking, if everything we look at, numbers are going to be over 120.
Easy.
It could be 140
Easy.
cars. And then you sort of look at that and you think, right, the following week we've got to cut down to 60 cars.
That's good. Yeah. Now that's going to be good. That's going to
How are you going to do that?
I know.
How are you going to say from all these people who are so good, like we've talked about? I mean, yourself, you own your signwriting business where you put a lot of energy and you've got a lot of clients in the racing industry.
Yeah.
So you've seen firsthand the level of professionalism and everything, the money that's been spent now on these wingless cars to look $1 million.
Mickey Mouse, 100%.
And we're going to cut like 80 cars.
I know they're gonna have to somehow make like a criteria or something, aren't they? Because like that's gonna be nuts, isn't it?
You're already in town, like you're already here. Your car looks $1 million. You look $1 million. Just run the Australian title. You're all pumped.
And imagine it's someone like, I mean, believe it, like someone who isn't in the WoW series wins the national title, right? Who's completely irrelevant.
Yes.
And then like they don't make the cut for the thing, but like, oh, actually, I might race it. What happens then?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, if you want to throw that in the mix, I mean,
I don't know.
I'm going to get in trouble by saying this, but the sub-regs for the whole series has been thrown out the window a little bit by allowing these outside drivers in. With the speed car driver of Nathan Smee and all that.
Well, exactly right. So you can probably do it.
You probably could do it.
But like, I mean, that's a fair criteria to me. If you've come off and you just destroyed everyone in a national title, go for it.
Go for it.
Have
Yeah.
a go.
And I think at the moment they're probably running the criteria of whatever's best for wingless racing.
Yeah,
done.
For sure.
Let's go do it.
100%. So, and you know what? That's the best way to do it, because like this is like the series is awesome. It was a great idea. And we need to get more people to watch wingless. But we have plenty racing it, but there's not a lot of people who kind of watch it and support it. And I mean, fair enough. That's a bit of a not a time filler class. I mean, we run a lot with 500s down here. So we're pretty equal, and anyone who comes to the shows are pretty much there to see both of us, which is great. But I think the wingless up Sydney and stuff are running sprint cars most of the time, and
only one track, and then the rest is all by themselves. But all right,
that's cool.
So hang on, give us your thoughts then. What do we need to do as a division to get away from this? Because we talk about it a lot. Like everyone talks about, and you mentioned it before when wingless first came out, that you saw when Brad Warren was around with the NOS deal. Yeah, the canteen cars, and I will put my hands up and say I remember sitting on the hill in 2010, 2009, whatever it is, at Parramatta, and when they came out, they sounded horrible. They're ticking, they're popping, they're
100%. Well, the same.
They start off with 20 cars and 5 finished. Like, it looked terrible.
I don't know. Look, I did the Rising Star thing at AIS.
Did you get in as well?
I did. I was the first. I was like when they brought girls back in. I was one of the first back then.
Oh, you're kidding?
Yeah,
Dude, I'm sorry, I didn't know that. All right.
Not a lot of people do, because it was a long time ago, and I think Wade thinks Todd did it, and I was literally in the room with him, but that's fine. But I remember like they did a seminar in there about like with Darren Disbury.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, and Wade, and it was all about marketing, promoting, and stuff. And I love that stuff, and I took away from that so much stuff. But I just reckon wingless need more, not like PR, personalities. I think personality is huge. Like you watch like over in the States, you got like they kind of video everything, and like you got your angry drivers who show a bit of flair, and you got like your clowns like Brad, and like I don't know. I think you just need a bit more personality with the sport and promotion, marketing. Like I think we're lacking a little bit of that. No fault of anyone at all. Like it's like the committee. It's pretty much another job for them, and we all everyone. It's not like it's our full time job. It's a hobby. What we do
Hmm.
is, unfortunately, in Australia, it's a hobby. So it's a lot of effort and stuff. But I think that's the biggest thing. Like you just kind of see the same old three heats final, no real personality. Is that I
Yep.
don't know. That's kind of
No,
the best
no.
way I can explain it.
y-
Like I even say it with Todd with his YouTube video because like I mean I'm not a real race car minded human. I'm never going to be to the intensity of he is. So I always go like, dude, your videos are awesome, but like you got to show a bit more like I don't know personality and like what you got to do and like bring people into the stuff, not just oh, here we are. Here's the dirt. Here's that. Here's this. Like, show them a bit more. Like, you just got to show them a bit more. Because, like I said, I brought my friends a couple times, and like they wouldn't have a clue what's going on, and they didn't really. They're just like, oh yeah, like there was dirt flying at us, and we saw your race and stuff. I'm like, yeah, but there's so much going on in the pits and like all that kind of stuff, and it's way more than you think it is. Like,
Yeah.
it's. I've always found it really hard to describe racing speedway to people because I just go, oh look, I just turn left and go on dirt. Unless
Yep.
you really know what it is, that's what it is.
No, you're right. And I think
Yeah,
whenever I speak to people about it, I keep coming back to the old ringmaster deal of the old
yeah,
carnies.
yeah,
And
yeah,
Wade Oranger was, well, not was, but is fantastic. And
yeah.
I think when he was at Parramatta, he just had this ability to, when the crowd was low,
Get
or,
them up and
or
about.
just get them up and about, get the kids
Yeah,
involved.
yeah,
You get those kids involved by having a dude running around with a clown suit on, throwing a big inflatable ball at the kids and backwards and forwards playing that game. And that dude,
yeah,
that's his job for the night, mate. You just go and do that.
yeah,
It just takes a load off the mums
yeah,
while they
for
can
sure.
sit there and sort of watch and sort of try and get involved in racing. And that way their husbands are sitting there and the kids
Exactly.
aren't driving the mum nuts, the mum isn't driving him nuts, and everyone's sort of getting along well.
Yeah,
We're able to move
exactly.
forward. But I sit back and I think, you know what? We're not far away from it. You're right. We need characters in the game. We definitely need
100%.
characters. And that's why this whole show really
And I
started.
was literally going to say, and like that's why I was so rapt when I saw you were doing a podcast for Endless because I thought, awesome, like someone's going to actually show the individual characters that we have in the sport and try and like promote it a bit better. Like, it's great. I think it's great. I think what you're doing is awesome. I'm like I said, Mum's a big fan.
Yeah, Mum's a fan. Yeah, there we go.
But she does.
Actually,
It's
she'd
like
get one of these shirts, the only Wingless shirt. She should get. No, she
she
should.
would.
Um,
Nah, let it.
no,
She'd
but you're
probably wear
right.
it.
You're spot on. So this was
100%.
about to try and promote because we've got so many characters in the game,
Mm-hmm.
but no one knows them.
No,
As
not
you
at all.
said, put a helmet on. You don't know if you're a male or female out there on the racetrack.
Exactly
Well,
right.
I have no idea. And
Exactly right.
and so I thought by doing this, you're sort of learning whose characters and whatnot. And I got to admit, a lot of people I would have, and I said this earlier on with like Daniel Sayer, for example. When he's at a
Mm.
track, Daniel Sayer, he's so focused on what he's doing, his job.
Yep.
It's amazing. He's just so into it. You see the look on his face. You think, oh, I don't want to go disturb him. I'll walk away. And
Mm.
really, no, he's approachable. It's just he's thinking about a million and one things. He may not have a
100%.
smile on his face when he sees you.
Yeah.
So, and that's what I've tried to say to people. If you see anyone at the track that you've always wanted to say, "Hey, mate, how you going?" or "Good race that last weekend," whatever it is.
Mm.
I mean, unless they're trying to repair a car quickly to get it out there.
Yeah.
Go up
Well,
and let
stay
them
away.
know. Just go up and say hello
100%.
to because everyone is so approachable. But all we need
Yeah.
now is just to get these characters out in the mainstream.
Yeah. 100%.
Um,
100%.
and obviously,
But
that's what I'm trying to do. Everyone's got stories. As I knew
yeah.
your story, being the first Hobson to win an Australian title.
I wish we'd moved past this. I said it once.
No, it's all right. We're going to stay there forever.
That's all
It
right.
was funny because after I messaged you to say, hey, you interested in coming on the show, I sent your brother a quick Snapchat to saying, hey, man, make sure you tune into the show shortly because you're going to see someone. So, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We'll,
No, I think you know what? Dad's probably more heartbroken because Dad had never won an Australian title. He won like 8 state titles in a row,
really?
but he came second to Stewie and Timmy Morse like 100 times. So that's probably what hurts the most. Not Todd, probably Dad, but
I got to say, when I tell people that I was at Sydney the other weekend watching the WoW series,
mm,
my highlight is how I watched the feature. I
with
was
Dad.
leaning up against the fence there in turn two, watching the feature. I had Tyson next to me. After that was Lloydie. Then it was Gary. And I thought, yep, sweet. I know you were this side of me. And then I
I have
had
to say,
Jason.
I was also there, and so was Plugger, and we were a great time. Thanks, though.
Right there. Lloydie, I finally got to spend watch a race with Lloydie. So he did give me a few frowns, Todd. Yes, he did. So, yeah, I have to watch it. But
Yeah,
no,
He's a wealth of knowledge. If you ever want to have a chat with him, he loves talking about the old times and all that kind of stuff. So
No, he's a good man. He's a good
he's a
man.
funny. Now he's just he's getting older, Lloyd, but he's funny. He's a character. You just got to go with it. Whatever he says some outrageous shit, but just go with it.
But I think what you said is right. We need all the drivers. I know everyone's got their social media pages, but
Yeah,
you're
for
right.
sure.
Start
But
showing
like,
some emotion. Start showing something.
yeah,
Start.
100%.
Forget the whole. This is my race car. I came first. Get out there. Andrew Seary, like, love the bloke dearly. Welcome, race fans. Like, it's
See,
fun.
I didn't even know he did that until you told me. And when he yelled that into the microphone, I nearly fell over.
Remember
I was
that?
like, "What is this bloke on?" Because like I've raced against him a couple times. I'm like, I kind of say, "Hey, how you going?" But I've never known him too well. And when he did that, oh my god!
He is so cool. That's right. I forgot they interviewed him while he's on the track. Yes. So
And he just yelled it out.
yelled
I'm
it.
just like, what?
Yelled it. Yep.
I loved it. I thought that was gross.
Yep. Roseanne wasn't there, so he had a crack. But yeah, she was back in young, shaking her head. But no, that's what we need. You're right. You're spot on right. And also we need like, I mean, I'm looking at what you're doing with trailers, your privacy curtains. You're starting to see a whole bunch of things. The pit. No, I'm talking about the pit mat. I'm just talking everything. Like, everything went from a very basic budget. Let's get a tarp to
customize it.
We need to go further. We need to go further. We need to go further.
Yeah. And that was one thing we've always, like I said, like I brought back from the Rising Star thing, is like your promotional stuff is like marketing for your part, like your sponsor. I mean, my sponsors is like me and Dad and like Peter now, but like you still got it. Like the you don't have to have, like, you don't have to be big. You can kind of give them a false, like you can pretend to be big. Do you know what I mean? Like you could, all the gear, no idea is what I like to call it, but. But it looks something. Make it look something. It's one thing we've always kind of pushed, me, Todd, and like Dad. We've always wanted everything we do to kind of like make it look more than just, a race car or a trailer and all that kind of stuff. Right. So
I love the merch you have. I need to make sure you got some stuff down there because I want a hat. Still want my hat, so I'll be coming to get it.
You'll get a hat. Don't you worry. Don't worry.
Let's go back to Mildura. So, what are your thoughts on the Australian title? You're going to be racing it. Have you raced the Australian title? Have you raced Mildura and Wingless?
Yeah. I run. I used to. So Larry Fitz is from up there.
Yep.
When I was driving for them, we used to race up there a fair bit. So I ran really well up there. I won. I think I won one show, then spun out in front of everyone on the other show.
Nice.
But I've run up there a couple of times. I really love the track up there. It's a sick track, and I haven't raced there since. But Todd raced there a fair bit in that 360, and in his wingless, and he just said it's my favorite track by a mile. So I'm excited to see what it's like now, because I think they've done a bit of work to it since I've run there. But I know everyone who goes there said it's an awesome track, and I know the promoters and everyone there are going to they're going to try and mimic what Lismore did. I know they're going to put a real effort into it. The town's much the same. It's a real speedway. It's a very, very much a speedway town, like you guys probably know. So like. No, I think it's going to be a really good weekend. I think it's over the long weekend too, which makes life
yes,
better for a long weekend for us. But it's
going to be a long week, so you're going to have to stay there to race. Wow, so yeah.
I know. And flights to Mildura are not cheap from Melbourne these days. I tell you what.
Come on, you got to do a road trip. Don't
drive up. But I was going to come back and forth and come back for the WOW series. But
no, you're going to have to stay up there.
I might have to stay there and just drink beer all week.
They're going to run out of beer in that town, I reckon.
I think they might.
But one of the good things, I had Daniel Goldoni on this show, and he sort of let out a bit of inside goss about some stuff that AWSR are going to sort of plan between the weeks, so activities and stuff like that. So that's going to be pretty cool.
Good. I see that kind of stuff is what they need to do. Like I think you were saying, Brad, like all the stuff they do in like Darwin and stuff, or where they got to do that stuff with the town and make it more interactive. Because
I'm sitting there thinking it's Wade's town, and you're going to tell me we're not going to have some shit going on like that. Like we're going to have something. We are definitely going to have something.
Every time there's something up there, Wade goes nuts. So.
I have no idea where you ended up the other night. But you weren't involved in our foot racing competition we had.
No, as soon as we were done, we drove home. So
right, you were gone. Okay.
We were gone. Lloydie and I were 10-4 good buddy off to the freeway we went. But no, Kika told me about these running races, and I was instantly devastated because I'm a competitive beast. I would have bloody clocked all of you.
I felt terrible for you. I know. I even had a run. I ran against Pete.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, that would have been a good race.
Yeah, I don't know how he passed me to beat me, but I got beat.
He was probably 10 cans deep by then. He was just
mate, he was on a mission. But no, it was good fun. Poor Chris, I pretty much just pimped him out into like so many races.
Good,
And then
good.
unfortunately, I put him up against Tyson Martin, and he just got. Oh no, he did. Tyson probably beat him by a length or two, but poor
Lane Picker's
Chris was
thick
like, "I'm
quads.
dead.
Oh,
I'm dead."
he's not a. You don't think cardio is his cup of tea? He's got the world's thickest legs I've ever seen. He's got just two
No,
massive thighs. So I don't think running is his game. But I
no,
don't think I
I,
don't
I
think
don't know
I've
where the
ran for a
running
very
race.
long time either. So, but
Don't know
I
where it
know.
came
But I
from.
did hear.
Yeah,
Well, let's keep it going. We got to
I'll
think of
try.
something
I mean,
different. We got to think of
yeah,
something different
I'll
next
think of
race.
something
I
down
have
the
the
Sims.
electric scooter now, so I may have cheated. So
You know what? Go for it. I never said it
yeah.
couldn't. I never said it couldn't race. I was
Oh well, there
actually.
you go.
I thought I was going to get Gary Fitzpatrick have a crack, but I heard him
Not a
mention
chance.
about his Achilles tendon that he hurt in running
Oh,
track back in the day. So
probably from like 1980. Come on, Gary. God. Oh
no,
my
no, no,
goodness.
it wasn't him.
No,
But all right,
no.
so you got to come
But
race. That's going to be awesome. All right,
yeah,
let's wrap this up. So, what's your favourite track you've raced at?
it's really tough because I've raced it a lot. Um, I actually don't mind Darlington, which is
Yeah,
called it's Midwest. Yeah,
yeah,
so I
yeah.
ran there a fair bit when I first started wingless, and I had a lot of success there. But it's much like Lang,
Okay,
bit of a driver's track. Um, I don't know. I don't really have a favorite track. I'm just kind of happy to go there.
okay.
Simpson, probably at the minute it's going to be Simpson, even though I'm not very good there. I think I'm just really enjoying the track being it's really consistent and it's really different, obviously, with the shape. So I'm really enjoying trying to kind of nail it, if you know what I
Yep,
mean.
yep.
I really want to get good there. But yeah, I love Lang. I like all the small tracks.
Okay,
I don't like big tracks. I think they're boring, and
yep.
I'm not good at them. So anywhere where I can be a bit competitive, I'm probably more happy. I reckon I'll like Timmins. Todd reckons I'm gonna really like Timmins again. So um yeah, nah, probably I'll go Darlington just to be
Darlington.
a
All
bit
right.
wild.
I
Yeah, I'll
don't
go
think
a
I've
bit
had Darlington
Darlington.
yet, so that's good.
No,
Um,
Darlington's cool.
all right. So, what's your favourite? What's been your favourite moment in the sport?
Oh shit. I've got a couple of weird ones because like obviously winning a national title is cool. That's
Yes.
really good. I won that and I think like Dad was pretty happy with that. I mean, we're running for a long time
Did
with
he
that, but I
smile?
think he did. He
Whoa.
did indeed. He did indeed smile. He was wrapped.
There we go.
I think my first oh not as much as I reckon when I had my first go on the dirt mod with it in dirt mod. He smiled probably bigger then.
Yeah. Right.
Um, but I think that's not even to do with my racing. We when I was not racing and Todd was doing the 360 deal. He rings me up and goes, "Oh, look, I don't have any pit crew this weekend. Can you come pit crew for me?" I'm like, "Shit, yeah, for sure, man." Like, I haven't been to a speedway. I was trying to avoid going and all that kind of stuff. He goes, "You just got to ride the quad, and yeah, I'll just tell you what to do." I'm like, "Yep, no worries." So it was at our local track, Noah, which Dad was president of for about 20 years. Like, that's where we grew up. We could all race there with our eyes closed. We've done that many laps there. So I was like, "Yeah, cool, down the road, no worries." And Todd in the 360 again, which was awesome. Something that us as a family we never even thought would happen. So that was cool. He could put that deal together. He ran really good that night, and it was just me, Dad, Todd, and Mum in the pits, and he came second. And I don't know, it was just we were all so like happy, and
Yep.
I think it was his first podium for a sprint car. Like it was against like Brett Milburn, Charles Hunter was there. I don't know if Rusty Hickman was running. I can't really remember, but it was just we were all like it was probably it was the most like we were just rap. We're just all so happy for coming second, which is so strange for us because we were very
Yep.
competitive. But I think it was because it was just me, Mum, Dad, Todd. That was it. And there's a photo of just us four and the trophy and stuff. And I don't know. I think that could nearly be my favorite moment. I don't even know why. It's not even the racing moment, but it was just really fun. It was just really good. And I mean, we've both grown up. Todd's over in America, so we don't really get to do that stuff anymore.
Yep.
But yeah, and I think for the wingless shit, I haven't even just racing. I think yeah, running an Australian title. I mean, just racing. I don't really have a favorite wingless moment because I haven't done very well in it. To be completely honest with you, but we'll get there. We'll get.
I'm sure you will.
Nah,
I'm
nah.
sure you will.
But no, I think that might be it. But
Yeah.
otherwise, racing the
Nice.
V8 dirt in the title with Dad was cool. Like
Yeah.
yeah, stuff. I raced actually. I did. Larry Fitz used to own an old Sammy Swindell 410 sprint car, like
Right.
vintage car, and he let me race it. That was sick. That was cool. I got to run that at Wangaratta.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeez.
But
Okay.
me and Dad got to go. I had one go, and then Dad ran it and blew it up. So that was it.
Oh, good on you, Lloydie.
But yeah, I think Todd running the 360 was and just that family kind of thing.
Yep.
That's probably my favorite speedway moment. I reckon for sure. for
Yeah,
sure.
nice. No, that's good because I mean that's the beauty of it. It's a moment. It doesn't have to be where you're a driver. Just
No, because
where you take it from.
I've raced a lot. I've
Yeah,
raced a lot, and I can't like it's just like you said, it's just a normal thing for us now, and it's not like you can never go, oh, this is a significant moment. I've won a couple of shows, which is cool. I've podiumed a fair bit, but like I don't know. I think yeah, us all just being really wrapped for Todd, and it was a family deal, and it was at our local track, and I don't know. It just kind of was like yeah, it's just a cool experience, you
yeah,
know.
nice.
Yeah,
Oh, that's good. That's good.
bit
So
different.
what I try and do before I let people go, if I mean my videos get a couple of likes or a couple of views, to give people an opportunity to thank their sponsors, their partners who help them get around and do the things they love to do. So the floor is yours, Ebony. Who you got to thank?
God, well, obviously, I've got to thank my mum and dad. Obviously, they have supported us since day dot with anything and anything. Travelled up and down the Australia with us. We've been to Tassie with us. So like obviously the family business being Cool Freighters Proprietary Limited, the
Yep,
trucking. We love
nice.
trucks. Um, uh, Back in the day, I got a lot of support from like Lucas Oil,
Yep,
Victory Lane, the Tembies. Like a lot of my supporters are more family. So like the Fitzpatricks, the Tembies. I race cars for the Keats. Um, Gary, we met actually an old bloke. I met an old bloke in Lismore. His name's Gary, who used to pit for Dad back in the day, and he just kind of came up to watch, and never met him, and now he comes to every show of mine, and he's now one of my main sponsors, which is cool. So
nice.
DKR, yeah. So I got this year I got to thank Easy Print. They've helped out a fair bit. All the boys, all Todd's mates and Todd, all the boys who support me every week, like they all ring me a week of the race going, have you organised everything? Are you ready? Are you ready to go? I'm bloody blah, blah, blah. Tommy's in the shed with me till midnight sometimes. And yeah, but like I've got a lot. I've been racing for 20 years. I've got so many like people who have helped me along the way. CTR, the Nichols. But yeah, just everyone. I've got too many to really list, but yeah, everyone. Local print.
There you go, local print. No,
Local
hey,
print.
Ebony, thank you so much for your time. I really
No, thank
appreciate
you
it.
very much.
You have
No.
yourself a lovely Christmas,
Yes, you too.
and I'll
Hope
look
Santa brings
forward.
us something good.
Yeah, likewise to you.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
maybe Santa's going to have it ready for you after Warrnambool. A nice belt. But I look forward to catching up with you on just into the new year.
Yeah, absolutely. Have a couple of beers and do a running race, hey?
Oh God, yep. I'll start stretching.
Yeah.
All
All
right,
good. Thank you
guys.
so much.
No worries. Thank you everyone for tuning in. That's Ebony Hobson. So please, yeah, check out her stuff. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. And stay tuned for the next episode we've got coming out shortly. See you then.